In this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can become a Medicare expert so you can be known by everybody you know as the go-to guy or girl when it comes to Medicare, and people will just flock to you to have you help them. This video is brought to you by none other than Hire Heroes, you guys. Hire Heroes is your one-stop shop when it comes to virtual staffing and making sure that you have qualified talent with your business. One thing that I love about Hire Heroes, you guys, is they've actually gone through the process already of vetting and making sure that your staff member is well trained to best fit your needs. Whether you need help with social media work, posting things on your accounts, responding to people that send messages to your social media accounts, whether you need help with data entry or a multitude of other things that they're qualified to do, Hire Heroes has got you covered. If you're having trouble finding quality talent and number two, affording to be able to run payroll for that talent, Hire Heroes has got you covered with an affordable alternative to have a virtual assistant working for your business. There's a link down in the description of this video to where you can learn more about getting your own VA through Hire Heroes. I certainly recommend it. They're what we use in our business for all of our virtual assistant needs, and you will want to make sure that you check them out today. I know a thing or two about being a Medicare expert. I've been a top producer for 6 different insurance companies as an agent myself. I run a very successful Medicare specialized insurance agency out in Sandy, Utah, and we are an integrity partner of sorts. Okay, so let's kind of jump right into this conversation. How can you become a Medicare expert of sorts? Well, I believe there's a certain number of steps that you have to go through and things you have to be aware of going into this journey of trying to become a just downright stone cold baller when it comes to Medicare knowledge, okay? The first thing you have to understand is there's only so much that you can learn through studying and reading up books, websites, articles, and watching videos when it comes to just Medicare ins and outs, right? X's and O's. There's only so much you're going to learn. Why do I say that? Because until you have actually been out in the field and until you've actually seen real life scenarios with clients and customers, when you actually see somebody that has 10 different prescriptions and needs some answers about the donut hole, till you actually see somebody that has 10 different doctors that all work at different clinics and need to make sure that their plan is covered, has them all in the network, till you actually see somebody that has a very specific need, right? A situation that you'll never forget again in your life because you went through it the very first time. There's nothing quite like street knowledge, is what I like to call it. And that is what you will gain by being out in the field and working with customers. It is the fastest teacher, and you will learn 10 times faster than any other way. So just understand that you don't need to know everything in order to get started. And by getting started, you're actually expediting your education at becoming a Medicare expert. So don't be afraid to get out there and don't think you have to know every little thing in order to sit down and talk with somebody. In fact, I've always said that there is no better education than making a mistake on an appointment or having someone call you out on making a mistake, because it might be painful in the moment. It might suck when you're going through it, but I guarantee you'll never forget it. So sometimes getting punched in the face is the best learner and the best education that you can possibly get as an agent. The second thing I'm going to tell you is be a sponge. Now, while you don't need to know everything to get out there and actually talk to people, when you're not out in the field and you're not in your income producing activity time frame during the day, you need to be a Medicare sponge. If you want to understand Medicare, if you want to know Medicare, there is no better book to read than the most current version of the Medicare and You Handbook. The Medicare and You Handbook is a red, white, and blue book. It's sent out to every single person that's on Medicare, and it can be found for free on a PDF downloadable version on Google. So just go to Google and type in 2024 if you're watching this in 2023 or 2024. 2024 Medicare and You Handbook. And you should be able to find it very easily in a PDF downloadable form and download it and go through it and actually read it. It's a little bit over 100 pages. It is a book that is not a page turner. It's incredibly boring, but there is so much good information that you will learn about Medicare in the Medicare and You Handbook. The other thing you need to make sure that you read up on is various plans in your market. You want to study the benefits. You want to try to make sure that you have a good feel for which plan is strong in which area. attend carrier events, attend new agent trainings by your carrier reps in your market. This will help you learn a lot from a perspective of somebody that it is their job to be an expert at that specific carrier's plans. And by knowing the plans in your market, you're going to have an advantage over all the people that might be calling your prospective members from out of state because they don't know, primarily due to the fact that they're likely working with people in all 50 states and the plans are different everywhere. They're just not going to be able to know what you can know as a local broker. So trying to dominate locally and being the expert locally is the first step to really acquiring the knowledge that you need to be looked at as the go-to guy or girl. If you have Medicare Center or Sunfire, Connecture, all the same, right? You should be able to access all the different plans in your market with just a zip code, and you should be able to have instant access to that plan's summary of benefits. If you're not familiar with what those systems are, Medicare Center is a system that is provided. It's a quoting and enrollment platform that works for a multitude of different carriers that is provided to you if you are contracted under an Integrity Marketing FMO, okay? Now, if you're not with an Integrity Marketing FMO, most organizations are going to provide you with Sunfire, Connecture. So all Medicare Center really is it's accumulation of a bunch of different products all put in together. So some of the products that are inside of Medicare Center are Sunfire, Connecture, CSG Actuarial. So you can typically get Sunfire or Connecture or both through most FMOs in 2024. This is kind of looked at as kind of a common standard that you have to provide your agents if you want to survive as an FMO. And it's a good tool if you're just trying to learn because you can get access to the plan's SOBs. SOB does not mean son of a bitch. It means summary of benefits, okay? So you can go in and access the plan's summary benefits with just a simple zip code, and you'll be able to kind of see all the different plan benefits. So when you're studying up and reading about the plans, go through the summary benefits, read up about the plan, try to get a good working understanding of the plan, and that will help dramatically in becoming an expert and when you're actually going through this learning phase. When I was an agent, I would go out during the day and prospect and make phone calls and go out and see people at their houses and try to acquire new business. But in the evening when I came home, I would sit on the couch when I'd watch TV with my girlfriend, who's now my wife. I would watch a movie with her, whatever the case might be. But I would also at the same time be glancing through different plan booklets and Medicare and You booklets and the Medigap 101 booklet. These different kinds of booklets are going to be resources for you in growing your knowledge. So it's important to read up. It's just you don't have to spend all day reading up. You should be going out and seeing people. You're going to learn that way. You're going to learn very quickly that way. But then also you can read up in your downtime in the evenings. And it just is going to take a little bit of a commitment. You're going to have to work hard. I know I've talked to some people before where I've given this advice to them and they've said, well, I just want to relax in the evening. I just want to do this in the evening, blah, 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 blah. It's time to put on your big boy or big girl pants and show a little commitment, work hard, right? And it doesn't have to be forever, but if you did that for your first 3 to 6 months, I guarantee you would know so much so fast and you'd be incredibly qualified and you'll be very confident out in the field when you're helping people. Next on our list is make sure that you have a good mentor. Make sure you have somebody that can plug you into a training or they can spend time with you themselves and they can pour into you their knowledge. Okay, one thing I had when I was new in the business was I had my father, who had been in the business for 30 years at the time of me getting in, who had been a Medicare agent for a very, very long time. And I was able to learn from him, right? He knew everything about Medicare. He knew so much, and I was able to just kind of use him as a resource, and I was able to kind of absorb and kind of soak up everything that he had experienced and his knowledge over the years. This absolutely helped me grow, and it helped me learn faster. So there's nothing you can do that can essentially replace that of a good mentor. Make sure that you have a good mentor that can show you the ropes and show you the ways. That will help a ton because Medicare is complex. There is a lot to know. I've always said that Medicare is the hardest product line to learn, but the easiest to sell once you've learned it. And having a good mentor can help speed that process up significantly. Last but not least, be a specialist, at least at the beginning. So if you're trying to sell Medicare and you're relatively new, Do not try to learn how to sell life at the same time. Do not try to learn how to sell ACA at the same time. Do not try to learn how to sell annuities at the same time. Focus in on one product line. And if Medicare is going to be that product line for you, make sure that you go deep on it, at least for the first year before you look at adding another product line. I'm not saying that you can never add the product line, but when you're new, Medicare alone or one product line alone is overwhelming enough. Okay, so you want to make sure that you go deep in on one product line and don't try to stretch yourself too thin. Be a specialist. And if you're going to be a specialist, learn all things Medicare. Don't just do Medicare Advantage or don't just do Medicare Supplement. Don't be a biased representative of what Medicare has to offer. Become a specialist to where you're knowledgeable, appreciate, and can advise on both sides of the coin, Medicare Supplement and Medicare Advantage, and you're going to be that much more dangerous because you are an absolute wealth of knowledge and can help somebody with everything when it comes to Medicare. Anyway, guys, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I'd love to hear your comments down below. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. That's going to help so many more people like you who need to hear this information find it easier. Make sure to subscribe. We put out weekly videos to help you in your business, and we don't ask for anything in return except for just a wee bit of your time. We'll see you next time, guys. Hope this video helped you, and here's to your success and your abundance. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.